Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today, I will guide you step by step and show you how you can deploy a Laravel 10 application to Cloudways. Cloudways provides you managed hosting. You don't need to worry about the stressful and complicated setup of your server and VPS and so on and so forth. All you need to do just to go to Cloudways, choose your platform, and then everything is managed for you. All right, everything is scaled, everything is configured. You don't need to worry about SSL certification, about anything. Also, deployment to Cloudways is really simple and easy, and all you need to do is just to follow a few steps. All right, with all that being said, and before we start deploying our application, if you're new to this channel, just go ahead, hit the subscribe button, enable the notifications so you will receive all the notifications for the new videos that I'm publishing every week. And don't forget to smash the like button and share the video with your friends. Before we start, let's go ahead and have a look on the application that we will deploy all together. So this is our application, a Laravel 10 Task Manager. So the application is up and ready, everything is implemented, and also it's available on my GitHub repository. So this is the structure. Also the application, it might be running or you can execute it and run it also on Docker. And everything is documented, and I think it's well documented here in this README file. Also, you can check it on my GitHub repository in this location. So if you go here, and then if you go to my profile, Ali Bu Ali, and then if you go to repositories, then you will find Task Manager Laravel 10. If you click on it, you will see all the project structure, all the required files and configurations. Also, by following this README file and the instructions that you have in here, you will be able to set up and run the application, whether locally or also if you want to deploy it. Also, I will show you step by step how we can deploy the application and connect it to a database. All right. So before that, let's have a look on the application. So this is my task manager. First, I will log out, because I was already logged in. So this is the landing page. So Task Manager, organize your tasks efficiently with our modern intuitive task management and so on and so forth. So here you can click on sign in if you already have an account, or you can get started and register a new account. All right, so let's register a new one. So I will create a new one. So alibu@mail.com, and I will choose a password, confirm the password, and then click on register. Everything is fine, and now we are redirected to the dashboard. So in the dashboard, we see that we have the total tasks, pending ones, in progress, completed, and so. And here we see, or you can see the recent tasks. All right, so all the tasks can be organized by categories. So let's go ahead and check the category. So for now, we don't have any category yet. We can create a new one. So let's say, for example, work. You can choose a color for the category. Let's maybe change the color in here. Click on create. So now we have the category. You can edit the category or even delete it. Let's go back to the tasks. Now I will create a new task. So this one, I will call it, for example, deploy Laravel app. All right, so deploy Laravel application to Cloudways. All right, so this will be the description of my task. So it will be in progress since we are doing this in a live way, and I will add it to, or I will assign it to the category called work. I will give it a high priority. Also, you can select a due date, or you can leave it without a due date. Once it's created, you will see this success message, and here you can see the list of tasks, or the tasks that you already created. Here we have deploy Laravel application to Cloudways. You see the category, the status, and the priority. You can edit or delete this task. If we go back to the dashboard, you will see that you have one task, which is in progress. Once this task is done, you can just go ahead, edit, and mark it as done. We will do it at the end of this video. All right. And then you can see the dashboard and all the different applications. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and start deploying our application to Cloudways. And I will guide you step by step. I will not miss any step that is required in order to have your application up and running on Cloudways. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, on Cloudways, once you create an account, or if you already have an account and log into your account, you will land on this dashboard. All right, so from here, the first thing we need to do is to create a project to better organize our projects. So here, if you click on flexible, you see my projects. For now, I do not have any project. So let's create a new one. And I will call it task manager, for example. Let's go ahead and create the project. Once the project is created, the next step that we need to do is to create a server. So let's wait a few moments until the project is created, and then I will show you how we can create a server and configure it. All right, so Task Manager has been created successfully. So this is our project. Now, if we click again on Flexible and then go to my servers. So for now, we do not have any server yet. Let's click on Launch. So here we need to select the application. So here we have different options: WordPress, WooCommerce, PHP, or custom PHP. We can choose also Magento, or the option that we want to do is Laravel in here. Let's give it a name. So I will call it also Task Manager, and I will give the server a name also. I will now call it Task Manager. Then if you have only one project, so it will be selected by default. Otherwise, you can select the project among the list of the projects that you have. So here the next step is to select the application stack. So you have the Lightning stack or the hybrid stack. So let's go with the hybrid. And as you can see here in the server, by default, DigitalOcean is selected because Cloudways, it was already acquired by DigitalOcean. All right, so for the server, I will keep everything as is. So I want a basic one, or a basic configuration with 4 GB of RAM, 1 CPU, 2 core processors, as you can see it in here, and 4 TB of bandwidth. All right, and I will get by default 80 GB of disk space. So here there is one thing which is really important, the location. So the location, it's better always to choose the location closest to your customers. All right. So for my case, for example, I will choose the Frankfurt location. And here you can get like an estimation about the hourly billing and how it will cost you for like each month. So monthly it will cost 54, but for hour, like it's $0.0804, which is honestly really good. So now all I need to do is to click Launch Now, and this will launch our server. So let me close this one. And as you can see, like creating a server, it's super fast and it only takes 7 minutes. All right. So like after 7 minutes, you will have your server up and running. So let's wait a little bit. Once the server is up and running, and once the server is started and configured completely, I will show you a few options among the server, and then we will go ahead and deploy our application. All right, so let's wait, and then I will fast forward the video and see you in 7 minutes. Not really 7 minutes, but I will see you in a few seconds because I will fast forward it. All right, so let's wait until the server is up and running, and then we will continue deploying our application. All right, so our server is up and running. So now let's click on the server. And here you will see we have the public IP, we have the username and password. We can connect it using SSH. I already showed that in previous videos, or we can launch an SSH terminal. So we will come back to this in a few moments. Also, you have here monitoring. So it will give you the usage of the RAM, the CPU, the disk space, and so on and so forth. So like you have all the monitoring and all the information that you need available in here. Also, you can manage the services. So what does this mean? So you can control the services that are available on your server. So as we can see here, we have Apache, we have Immunity, we have like MySQL as well. PHP is running. We have Redis is also available and installed. So you can either stop a server that you don't need, or restart it, or like enable a new one, or also like disable anything you want. Also, we have settings and packages. So if we open the settings and packages, and if we click on packages, you will see the available packages and the available tools that are installed, or you can even install for you. So here by default, we have PHP. So we have PHP, the installed version is 8.2, but for example, if you need a lower or higher version for your application, all you need to do is to select that one and then hit enter. All right, update, and it will automatically update your server with this new version. The same for MariaDB, for RabbitMQ, for example, if you need it, since it's not installed, and also for Supervisor. But Redis is also available if your application uses Redis, so you don't need to worry about the installation. So that's why I mentioned in the beginning, you don't need to worry about any configuration. It's just like with a simple click. All right, so now if you go to my applications, So here we have two tabs. We have the servers, which is our server, and we have applications. When you create a server, it will automatically create an application for you. So let's open it and check what we have in here. So here we have the access details. So for the access details, we have by default the database, username, and password. So this is in case we want to connect to our database. Let's click on Launch Database Manager, and then this will allow us to navigate and to explore our database. Also, if you need Redis, you have everything in here, like the prefix, username, and password. And also here we have the application credentials, like the public IP. We can add like an SFTP user and a bunch of other configurations available in here. So by the way, this is the database manager, and here we see that this is our database as mentioned in here. All right, so this is the database that we have. So this is the database name. You can also rename it. You can change the name to whatever you want. All right, so now how to deploy our Laravel application, which is available here on our Git repository. All right, so the way to do that, or the easiest way, the one I really like and enjoy, is the deployment via Git. All right, so all I need to do, select this one. Now we need to generate an SSH key. So let's go ahead and click on it, generating an SSH key, and then I will show you how you can add it to your GitHub. So click on View, copy this one. Please do not use mine because I will revoke it just after recording this video as always. So now click on your profile picture and then go to Settings. I will open this one in a new tab, and then go to SSH and GPG keys. So here, click on New, and then let's call it, for example, Cloudways, and let's just paste the SSH key that we copied earlier. And now let's click on Add. I will use the GitHub mobile application in order to authorize adding this new SSH key. So let me approve this one. It will be approved, and then the SSH key will be available. All right, so now I have the SSH key added. So the next thing, or the next step, is you come here to the code, select SSH, not HTTPS, but SSH, copy the URL, and then let's go back to Cloudways. Now let's paste the remote address. Now let's click on Authenticate. So this will use the SSH key that was generated by Cloudways in order to authenticate and get access to this GitHub repository. So now here we can see all the branches that you have. So in case, for example, you have multiple branches, you will see all of them. And also in case, meanwhile you are doing the deployment and create a new branch, just click on Fetch and it will fetch all the new branches. So let's click on Main, and here we have the deployment path. So by default, we have this public HTML. So let's leave it as a default. Now all I need to do is to click on Start Deploying or Start Deployment. So the deployment, what it will do, it will pull the code and make it available directly on the server. And this was super fast. So now we have the application up and running, or available for us. So here, let's go back to access details. Let me show you something. So for the access details, now if I click on this link, so this will load automatically our application. So this is the so it used to work before deploying the application, but now since we need to add some configurations, so that's why it's returning 500, but we will fix that in a few moments. So let's click on my servers, and let's click the server in here, and let's launch an SSH terminal. So the first thing I will do, I will copy this username, and then because we need to connect. So here it uses HTTPS over HTTP. That's why you see this error page, but this is completely fine. Click on Advanced and click on Proceed to the URL. Now let's paste the username, and I will copy the password. So copy, and then let's paste the password and hit enter. So as you can see here, we are inside. So let me zoom in. We are inside the VPS, or we are inside the machine. So let's click on PWD, or let's type, not click, but let's type PWD. So this is the current location. Let's click on LS. So let's go to applications, and then let's LS again. So this is our application. All right. So let's go to it. So TS. And then we should see the public HTML folder that was selected to deploy our application. So let's navigate inside it. And here, if I click on ls, we see all the files that were cloned or copied from our GitHub repository, like the app, bootstrap, config, database, and so forth. So if we come back here, we see that we have everything, all right, like the bootstrap, the app, and so forth. So also there is one file. So let me go back in here and let's try to follow this README file and see if I wrote it correctly, and just to make sure that this README file is valid or not. So here there is the option 1. If you want to use Docker or Sail, this is the option that I'm using locally, all right? But for the VPS, we will use the option 2, which is without Docker. So the first thing, clone the repository and go to the Laravel 10 task manager. So this is we already done, and we are already inside the folder, which is public HTML. Let me put this one next here. And then we need to copy the environment file. So let me type ls-a, even like to display all the files. So here I have the .env.example. So if I display it, so .env.example. So this is the environment file that we need to update, all right? And this is the part that we want to update. So here we need to update the database, the username, and the password, and the rest should be the same, all right? So also you see that I have already a .env file that I prepared also, but let me check it. .env. So it contains the same thing as the .env.example file. All right. So I will exit this one, and now I will use the command. So let me clear this, and then I will use the command nano.env to update the file. All right, so let's go back here to database, and now we need to update the database name. So it's not Laravel because this is like a default name that I mentioned in here. So as you can see, edit the .env file and configure your database. So let's leave it MySQL, since we are using a MySQL database. The host, so this is localhost, and the port is the same port. We don't need to change it. So here the database, where I use task manager. So you need to follow the step that we have earlier in here, like the next step. So we need to create a task manager database, or we can use the default database that we have in here. So let me open my applications in a new tab. So I don't want to navigate like back and forth between the application and the server. So here, let's wait for the access details to be loaded. And then we have the database name. So I will copy this name in here. I will go back here and I will paste it. All right. Also, I will copy the username, which is the same as the database name, I guess. And also let's paste it in here. So let me delete this one and paste this. Now we need to paste the password. So this is the password for our database. Let's copy it and let's paste it in here. So once you're done, click on Ctrl X and then type yes to save, and then that's it. All right. So now let's make sure that our changes are there. I will list the .env, and as you can see here, I have the database and I have the username and the password. Everything looks fine. Now let's just exit this one. Let's go back to the README file. So I think we can skip this one since we chose to use the database that was automatically created by Cloudways. So here we need to install Composer dependencies. So let's check if we have Composer at all. So just type Composer, maybe -v or help or something like that. And if you just type Composer, you should see all the available commands. So this means that Composer is already installed and available. I'm going to clear this one. And then I will copy the first command. So Composer install. So this will install all the dependencies. So let's see if everything is fine or something is missing that we need to fix it. And then if something is missing, of course, I will try to update the README file so you can follow all the steps. All right, so we have this issue. So we have attach untime failed operation not permitted, and so on and so forth. So this means I think there is some dependency or some missing dependency from Composer that we need to install it, because I faced this issue before when I was deploying like another Laravel application. So let me show you how to fix that. All right, so to fix this issue, there is a package or a dependency which is not installed, which is called Sanctum, I guess. So let's try to install it first. All right, so this will download all the required dependencies, and now we can execute again the composer install and see if everything is working fine or will be fine. So as you can see, so this was missing and now we installed it manually. So I will also update the README file so you can also follow it as in the same steps. All right, so now we are done with this one. Now we need to generate an application key. So let's use the PHP artisan key generate. So let's run this one. So application key set successfully. And then if we go to the database manager, refresh in here, so we do not have the tables. But how we can create the tables? Just simply let's follow the README file. So now let's click or let's execute PHP artisan migrate. So this will allow us to run the database migration. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. And now I think there is an issue. So users already exist. Let's check the database, refresh, and here we have all these ones. So I think this is something related to so let me double check. I think I will clear first. So I think this is something related to artisan. All right, so let's go to the database. The database folder is the one that we have in here. All right, so like we have database and here we have migrations. So the migrations, these are all the tables that we need to create. We have user, cache table, jobs table, categories, and tasks. All right, and this is what we need to do. So here let's go to also to migrations, and let's click on ls. So the problem is that somehow, or like in a weird way, and as you can see in here, I have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. The one starts with 001 and I have one starting with 2025, 1125. So these are the files that I want to execute, but I don't know why artisan is creating some other files. Like this one I did not create it, this one I did not create, I only have these files. So I will just remove them manually. So I will remove the first one in here. So let's paste it and then rm-rf. Let's delete also this one, because here you see that we have 2 migrations to create users, 2 migrations to create this one. All right, so I think I have an extra space after the minus. All right, so this one was created, and let's delete all the unknown files. So this 2019 is not known to me. Again, let's delete the other one, which is this one, and let's type ls once again. So now we should see only 5 files, the one that we have. So let's go back to our location, and now let's run again the composer or the migration. All right, but before doing that, what I want to do, I will drop all the tables. All right, because this might also like cause another issue. So now I do not have any table. If I refresh, we don't have any tables created yet. So now let's run PHP artisan migrate, and now it created all the 5 tables. So here, if I go back and refresh the database, we should see the tables that we have in here. So like it's loading, and once it's loading, it should display all the tables. So let's leave it to load and move to the next one. So since our application or our Laravel application also uses some dependency in JavaScript, and this is managed by npm. So all we need to do is to run these 2 commands, npm install and npm run build, to build the different assets. All right, so let's run npm install manually. So this will install all the dependencies, and then we can run the npm run build to build the assets. All right, so the assets are the things that we use. So npm run build, let's type enter, and now I think it's still loading, but let's wait for it. It's completely fine. And then once we follow the steps, the last one is simply to run the server. All right, so all we need to do is to run the server. So here we have a timeout. Let me refresh it once again, and here we have all the tables that we need. All right, like migration. So migrations, this is created from artisan, the jobs, and so on and so forth. But our tables are users, tasks, and we have password token, password reset token, and so on and so forth, like the 5 tables that we need. All right, so let's go back in here, and now let's run our application. So PHP artisan serve. So once we run this command, Now, if we go back to application once again and click on this link, now we see that our task manager is running, is up and running, and it's available under this public URL. So let's try to register and see if everything is working fine. So I will create a user. I will call it ali@mail.com, for example, and give it a password. So password in here and password confirmation. And let's click on register. So now we see that our application is up and running. Also, we can check if we have the user already created. So let's go to select data, and here we have our user. So the password is hashed, we have the created at, create updated at, and so forth. All right. So now let's try a few things just to make sure that the application is up and running. Let's go to categories, and let's create a new one. Let's call it work once again. And let's maybe change the color. So the work was created. Let's go back to tasks, and here, let's say deploy on Cloudways, for example, just to make it simple. So deploy Laravel application on Cloudways. So on Cloudways. So let's give it in progress and then select work and high priority. So let's create a task, and the task was created. All right. So now maybe let's edit and let's mark it as completed and do update task. So now the task is completed. If I go to the dashboard, I have 1 completed tasks. Total task is 1, pending, in progress, and so on and so forth. So I can also go to my profile. I can update the name, update the email. I can change or update my password, or also completely delete my account. So with that, you saw that under 20 minutes, we were able to deploy a Laravel application connecting to a database and having it up and running in super easy steps. All right, before we end today's video, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned from it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, drop me a comment, and let me know what you want to learn next. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next time.